The dust swirled through the crowded marketplace as Marcus Chen stepped through the maze of stalls and cages. The air reeked of unwashed bodies and desperation. He had come to this remote trading station looking for rare minerals, but what he found instead would change his life forever. A soft whisper caught his attention above the noise of shouting merchants and clanging chains. "Please, sir, buy my mother. She will cook for you, clean for you. She is good, I promise." Marcus turned toward the sound and saw her, a young alien girl with silvery skin and large, luminous blue eyes. Her small hands gripped the bars of a cramped cage, where she sat beside a woman who could only be her mother. The older female was thin, too thin, her breathing shallow as she leaned against her daughter, Zara. "No," the mother whispered weakly, trying to pull her child back from the bars. "Do not beg." But the girl named Zara pressed closer to the cage front, her eyes fixed on Marcus with desperate hope. "My mother's name is Mira. She was the best cook in our village before the raiders came. She knows healing herbs too. Please, human sir, we have nowhere else to go." Marcus felt his heart clench. In all his years exploring the galaxy's darker corners, he had seen slavery before, but something about this scene struck him differently. The way the mother still tried to protect her daughter's dignity even in their darkest hour. The way the child offered her mother's services with such innocent desperation. A fat trader waddled over, his multiple arms jangling with jeweled bracelets. "You interested in these two, human? I warn you, the older one is nearly dead. Waste of credits if you ask me. But the young one, ... double quotes, his beady eyes gleamed. She might be worth training in a few years." The suggestion in the trader's voice made Marcus's jaw tighten. He knelt down to Zara's level, speaking softly. "What happened to your village, little one?" Zara's eyes filled with tears. "Pirates came. They took everyone they could catch. Mira got sick during the journey here. The traders say if no one buys her today, they will ... double quotes. She could not finish the sentence. But Marcus understood. Mira stirred, opening her eyes to look at the human. Despite her weakness, her gaze held fierce maternal love. "Do not worry about us, stranger. We are not your burden to bear." But Marcus was already calculating. His ship's medical bay could help the sick woman. His food stores were full enough for 3. Most importantly, his conscience would not let him walk away from this. "How much for both?" he asked the trader. The alien's expression shifted to greedy delight. "Ah, both. That will cost you considerably more, human. I have other buyers interested." Marcus looked around at the other potential purchasers, rough spacers with cruel eyes. Wealthy collectors who viewed sentient beings as property. His decision crystallized like ice forming on a ship's hull. "Name your price," he said firmly, as negotiations began. Zara reached through the bars and touched Marcus's hand with her small fingers. "Thank you," she whispered. "Whatever happens, thank you for seeing us as people." Marcus squeezed her hand gently. He had come here looking for minerals to trade, but he was about to leave with something far more precious. 2 lives that would soon become the most important thing in his universe. The rescue and escape. The credits changed hands with metallic clinks that sounded like freedom's bells to Marcus. He had emptied nearly his entire purse, leaving himself with barely enough fuel money to reach the next system. But the sight of Zara's grateful smile made every credit worth it. "Papers are clean," the trader Corvin wheezed, shoving the ownership documents toward Marcus. "They are yours now, human. Do what you want with them." The cage door creaked open with a harsh screech. Mira tried to stand but stumbled, her legs too weak to support her. Marcus caught her gently, one arm around her waist while Zara pressed close to her mother's other side. "Easy," Marcus murmured to Myra. "You are safe now. Both of you." Myra looked up at him, and for the first time Marcus truly saw her face without the shadows of the cage. Even weakened by illness and starvation, she was beautiful. Her silver skin had an inner glow, and her dark blue eyes held depths that spoke of intelligence and strength. "Why?" she whispered. "You do not know us. We are nothing to you. You are not nothing, Marcus replied simply. You are someone's daughter, someone's mother. That makes you everything. But their tender moment was shattered by harsh laughter. 3 of Corvin's guards blocked their path, energy weapons gleaming in their hands. Problem, boss? One called to Corvin. Captain Vex just put out a bounty notice on these 2. Seems they are escaped prisoners, not legal slaves. Bounty is triple what this human paid. Corvin's beady eyes lit up with greed. Well then, perhaps we should discuss renegotiation. No renegotiation, Marcus said firmly, his free hand moving toward the plasma pistol at his hip. I bought them legally. The deal is done. Not if they were stolen property to begin with, Corvin sneered. Guards, secure the merchandise. The marketplace erupted into chaos as other shoppers scattered. Marcus drew his weapon smoothly, his years as a frontier explorer serving him well. Zara, get behind me. Help your mother. The young girl was braver than her years, supporting Mira while staying low as energy bolts sizzled through the air above them. Marcus returned fire, his shots precise and deadly. 2 guards fell before the others could take proper cover. This way, he shouted, guiding his small group toward a side alley. Mira was breathing hard, each step an effort, but determination blazed in her eyes. I can fight, she gasped. I know you can, Marcus replied, pausing to lay down covering fire. But right now, I need you to survive. Both of you. They reached Marcus's ship just as more guards rounded the corner behind them. The vessel's engines were already warming up thanks to the ship's AI. The boarding ramp lowered with a mechanical whine. Get them aboard, Nix. Marcus called to his artificial intelligence companion, already prepared medical bay for 2. Passengers, the AI responded in its calm feminine voice. Suggest immediate departure, Marcus. As the ship lifted off, Marcus finally allowed himself to breathe. In the medical bay, Zara held her mother's hand while healing scanners hummed over Mira's weakened form. We are really free? Zara asked, wonder in her voice. Marcus knelt beside the medical bed, meeting Mira's eyes. You are free. But Zara, I need you to understand something. There are people looking for you both. This is not over yet. Mira squeezed his hand, her touch sending unexpected warmth through him. Then we face it together, she said softly. The 3 of us. As the ship jumped to hyperspace, carrying them away from the slave market forever, Marcus realized his life had just taken a turn toward something he had never expected to find in the cold depths of space: family. 3 days into their journey, Mira was finally strong enough to leave the medical bay. Marcus had watched over her recovery like a guardian angel, bringing her meals and sitting by her bedside while she slept. Now, as she stepped into the ship's main cabin wearing clean clothes, he was struck again by her natural grace. The medical bay worked miracles, Mira said softly, running her fingers through her newly washed silver hair. I feel like myself again. Zara bounced excitedly around the cabin, exploring every corner of their new home. Marcus, your ship is amazing. Nix showed me the star charts. There are so many worlds out there. Where would you like to go? Marcus asked, sitting across from Mira at the small dining table. You are free now. The galaxy is yours to choose from. Myra's eyes met his, and something electric passed between them. We have no home anymore. Our world is gone, our people scattered. I do not know where we belong. You belong wherever you choose to be, Marcus said gently. He reached across the table, covering her hand with his. The simple contact sent warmth racing up both their arms. Zara noticed the exchange and grinned mischievously. Mira, your face is turning purple. That only happens when you like someone. Mira flushed deeper, pulling her hand back. Zara, mind your manners. But Marcus chuckled, finding Mira's embarrassment endearing. Purple is a lovely color on you. Over the following days, as they traveled toward a safe system Marcus knew, the 3 of them settled into a comfortable routine. Mornings were spent in the ship's small garden bay where Myra shared her knowledge of healing plants with an eager Zara. Afternoons found them in the cockpit. Marcus teaching. Zara basic navigation, while Mira watched with obvious pride in her daughter. The evenings became Marcus's favorite time. After Zara fell asleep in her small cabin, he and Mira would sit together in the observation lounge, watching stars stream past through the transparent aluminum windows. "Tell me about Earth," Mira said one night. Curled up beside him on the cushioned bench, the ship's artificial gravity allowed her to rest against his shoulder, and Marcus found himself treasuring the trust implicit in the gesture. "It is beautiful," Marcus replied, his fingers unconsciously stroking her silver hair. "Blue oceans, green forests, cities that reach toward the sky. But it can be lonely for someone like me. I have spent so many years exploring space that I forgot what home felt like." Myra tilted her head to look up at him. And now? Their faces were inches apart, her luminous eyes reflecting the starlight. Marcus felt his breath catch as the moment stretched between them. "Full of possibility and longing now," he whispered. "I think home might be wherever you and Zara are." She lifted her hand to touch his face, her silvery skin warm against his cheek. "Marcus, ... He leaned down and she rose to meet him, their lips touching in a soft, sweet kiss that spoke of new beginnings and hope reborn. When they finally parted, both were breathing unsteadily. "Is this real?" Myra whispered. "After everything we have been through, are we allowed to have this happiness?" Marcus pulled her closer, holding her as if she were the most precious thing in the universe. "We are allowed to have whatever we can build together. I promise you that." Outside the windows, the stars continued their eternal dance, bearing witness to love blooming in the darkness between worlds. Danger returns there. Peaceful journey was shattered when Nyx's warning klaxons screamed through the ship. Marcus bolted upright from where he had been sleeping on the lounge couch. Mira still nestled against his side. "3 ships approaching from hyperspace," Nyx reported crisply. "Configuration matches known bounty hunter vessels. Recommend immediate evasive action." Mira was instantly alert, her maternal instincts sharp. "Zara," she called, rushing to wake her daughter. Marcus was already at the controls, his hands flying over the navigation panel. Through the view screen, 3 sleek hunter ships emerged from hyperspace, their weapons already charging. "This is Captain Vex," a harsh voice crackled over the communications system. "Human vessel, you are carrying stolen property. Surrender the aliens, and you may depart unharmed." "Not happening," Marcus growled into the comm. Throwing the ship into a sharp turn that pressed them all against the bulkhead, energy blasts sizzled past the cockpit windows as the hunters opened fire. Marcus's ship was built for exploration, not combat, but he had made modifications over the years. He triggered the defensive shields and returned fire with his modest weapons array. "Marcus," Mira said, peering at his elbow with Zara close behind. "Let me help. I know their ship designs. My people. Before we were enslaved, we were engineers." "The navigation console," Marcus said, trusting her instinctively. "I need you to plot micro-jumps. Short hyperspace hops to confuse their targeting." Mira slid into the co-pilot seat, her fingers dancing over unfamiliar controls with surprising skill. "Zara, secure yourself in the emergency harness." The young girl obeyed without question, but her eyes were wide with fear. Marcus spared a moment to reach back and squeeze her hand. "We will get through this, little star. I promise." The ship lurched as a hunter's blast penetrated their shields. Sparks flew from an overhead panel, and the lights flickered ominously. "Shields at 60%, Nyx reported. "Hull breach in Section 7. Mira's calculations saved them, sending the ship jumping in tiny hyperspace increments that left their pursuers confused and angry. But with each jump, their fuel reserves dropped dangerously low. "We cannot keep this up," Mira said. "They are learning our pattern." Marcus made a desperate decision. Emergency landing. There. He pointed to a small moon visible on their screens. "Rocky terrain will limit their approach options." The ship screamed through the thin atmosphere. Pursued by the hunters' continued fire, Marcus brought them down in a narrow canyon, the ship's hull scraping against stone walls as the hunters landed nearby. Marcus grabbed weapons from the ship's small armory. "Stay with the ship," he told Mira and Zara. I will lead them away. No, Mira caught his arm, her grip fierce. We stay together. All of us. Her eyes blazed with the same determination he had fallen in love with, and Marcus realized she was right. They were strongest together. The battle was brief, but intense. Mira proved her worth with a captured energy rifle, her shots precise and deadly. Even Zara contributed. Using the ship's external systems to blind their attackers with spotlight arrays, when the last hunter fell, Marcus and Mira found themselves standing together in the canyon silence, breathing hard and alive. I thought I had lost you, Mira whispered. Throwing her arms around him, Marcus held her tight, feeling her heart beating against his chest. Never, he promised. You will never lose me. As they kissed among the stars and stone, Zara cheered from the ship's doorway, and their makeshift family felt stronger than ever before. 2 weeks later, their ship touched down on Sanctuary, a peaceful world known for welcoming refugees and outcasts. Marcus had used his last contacts to secure them passage and new identity documents. As they walked down the boarding ramp together, Mira carrying a small bag of their few possessions, while Zara skipped ahead excitedly, Marcus felt something he had never experienced before he was coming home. It is beautiful, Mira breathed. Looking at the rolling green hills dotted with wildflowers that stretched to the horizon, the settlement was small but welcoming, with curved buildings that seemed to grow from the landscape itself. The people here do not ask many questions. Taking her hand as they walked toward the town center, they believe everyone deserves a second chance. Zara ran back to them, her arms full of the local flowers. Mira, look. They smell like the gardens from our old home. Mira knelt to smell the blooms her daughter offered, and tears sparkled in her eyes. They do, little love. Perhaps this is a sign. That evening in the small house, Marcus had arranged for them to rent. They sat together on the porch, watching the sunset paint the sky in shades of gold and purple. Zara had fallen asleep against Myra's side, exhausted from their day of exploring their new home. She is happy, Myra said softly, stroking her daughter's silver hair. For the first time since the raiders came, she is truly happy. Marcus moved closer, wrapping his arm around both of them. What about you? Are you happy? Mira leaned into his warmth, her head finding the perfect spot on his shoulder. I never thought I could be again. After losing everything, I believed happiness was just a memory. But you... She turned to look at him, her eyes luminous in the fading light. You gave us more than freedom, Marcus. You gave us hope. You gave us love. He cupped her face in his hands, marveling at the trust and affection he saw there. You gave me something too. Purpose, meaning a reason to wake up each morning that has nothing to do with adventure or exploration and everything to do with making. Sure, you and Zara are safe and happy. Their kiss was soft and full of promise, tasting of the sweet air of their new world and the infinite possibilities that lay ahead. Will you marry me? Marcus whispered against her lips. Will you let me be Zara's father and your husband? Will you help me build something beautiful here? Mira's answer was another kiss, deeper this time, full of passion and joy. When they finally parted, both were breathless and smiling. Yes, she whispered. To all of it? Yes. As the first stars appeared overhead, Zara stirred in her sleep, mumbling contentedly. Mama. Papa Marcus... Home... double quotes. Marcus and Myra exchanged a look of pure happiness. Their journey had begun in darkness and desperation, in a slave market where hope seemed impossible. But love had transformed everything, turning strangers into family, turning survival into joy, turning an ending into the most beautiful beginning. Under the alien stars of their new world, the three of them sat together, no longer refugees or outcasts, but simply a family who had found their way home to each other at last.